My question is going to be the same for all of you initially. Do you believe that public speaking is an art, or do you believe that it is a science? And let's begin with Viktoriya. So public speaking, an art or a science?
I think that it could be both, and each approach has its place. And maybe when we come how to teach a person who thinks that completely has no talent to public speaking or something like this, and we could say, okay, just do this, and that, and you will be okay. So you just could go somewhere and deliver your speech, and it'd be nice. However, to make the speech really outstanding, really engaging or something, we need to think about some maybe art approach, to think how to use it in unusual way. Now, as I mentioned, maybe in my keynote speeches, what scientists mainly are doing, they need a lot of similar cases, like to have some average, yes, and to propose it. And for art, we need some individual approach, because we need to know more this person, how Dominika mentioned, that we all are angry in different way, and we all are happy in different way. And with average approach, likes to be happy, do something like this. So for one person, maybe it looks natural, because in real life, it's just the normal reaction. For other person, if you push them to do like this, it'd be very, very sad happiness. So we could manage public speaking with science. We could see some trends, some laws, some tricks, and to make it art, we need some individual approach.
Okay, that's interesting answer. Or what do you think, Anna? Public speaking, is it an art or a science?
I would say an art, because I was bad at science when I was growing up. So I like to think of myself that I'm quite good enough in public speaking. So being a drawing artist and writing a lot, I would say that it's an art based on me.
Very clear and focused answer. Svetlana, what do you think? Art or science, public speaking?
I don't think it's a rocket science. So I think one can learn to speak publicly, and that is why. That probably leads me to another answer, but you know, I need to be consequent. And I would tell you, play again. So definitely that's an art, but in my case, it's all the time combined with some kind of play and a little bit of challenge and additional engagement of that kind of spirit. Then you somehow also compete with yourself, like getting better in the art of public speaking. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And finally, Dominika, art or science, public speaking?
Yes, I was writing for myself art of science, because my workshop was about art, was very, I think, visible. But I think there is a lot of science in that also, as Lana says, not rocket science, but the science around animals and how body expresses itself. This is the first thing. But also about public speaking, I see also as a very general notion, because we can have informative speaking, we can have persuasive speaking, and we can have, for example, I don't know, personal stories, connection, relationship, emotions. So for example, in each of them, different things. For example, in persuasion, a lot of negotiation techniques come in play. How to convince, what gestures, how to, how to properly connect with a specific person. I was saying about extrovert and introvert, but there are also these who are visual, these who are auditive, and these who are kinesthetics. You use different words, you do different gestures. So different field, information, also how you present information. So the logic of presenting information, how you, for example, accentuate something. So I think that there is a lot of science around many different techniques concerning how to put your message forward to another person in general communication context. So public speaking, I read as communication, but it has a little bit more stress because you speak to the group of people, in front of group of people, so we have a bit of stress. So then the psychology, neurology coming into play. So I like these scientific things, and I was also when I was developing in public speaking, I was also learning a lot about these different things: persuasion, negotiation, brain, how it reacts, how we connect with people, what are the personality styles and how they are expressed in the way we speak, how to connect with another person and be understood by another person, how to read when we are not understood, how to read through the face. So much science, but the science is not enough. It's like when you say that the cake, it's just the ingredients. No, it's you mix them, you put them, and then you have this taste. But without ingredients, you would not have cake, obviously. So this is a condition to do that. But the art of it is a person who is speaking his life, his experience, his feelings, his story. So that's, I think, it's art. So for me, if you have beginner stage, this is more craft, more science, and then advanced master, it's when you don't think about all these things. It's just coming naturally. It flows from you as a person, and then it's artistic in this next phase. This is how I see that.
Wow, so quite a blend. I mean, nobody's really gonna either way. Some people said it's definitely an art, but there's definitely a little bit of both, just like many things. Like architecture. Architecture is an art, but it is also where engineering ends, as one of the sayings says. So there's still it's still quite grounded, as you would want anything that is built to be quite honest. So my next question is going to be more of a generic one. What is your favorite art and why? Is it cinema? Is it cinematographic art, graphic art, written art? What do you think? And Dominika isn't muted, so that means you're gonna go first, Dominika.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because I immediately think music. But why I think that is that I was raised and my mom was a musician, and from the beginning, from the childhood, there was a lot of music in our house. So I went to the music school. I was singing, I was playing. So music was all the time around me, and I love music. But from the type of person, I am more visual person. So I prefer to see things. So I also loved architecture and paintings. So difficult to say. Music from my DNA, but for example, paintings from more this visual person that I am. But I cannot really define because also I'm very verbal and as I mentioned, the poetry is something that is really touching me because I love when things are not black or white. So when they are multidimensional, and for me, poetry and words, because they imply psychology of human who is expressing himself through words, you can have so much interpretation and feelings from the verbal source that I also love poetry. It's like comparing fruit with vegetables, they are so much different from one another. For example, poetry from painting and from music, it's like different body parts that are all are needed, but they have different tastes and different usage application.
Excellent. Thank you for thanks for that, Dominika. I'll get an answer from what about you, Svetlana?
Thank you, Florian. I think that as for me, probably because of kind of my activity and my main direction of interest right now, I see that I prefer a spoken word art. Storytelling attracts me a lot, and also cinematography. Then I just recently stumbled across Spielberg saying that he's dreaming all day long and he's doing dreaming for living, something like that. So, and I just adore that. And I think, for example, people like him, like Steven Spielberg, who are just amazing storytellers, are a wonderful example of art of life well performed. So I love storytelling. I love spoken word art. And just by my nature, additionally, I can't stop myself from gazing at wonderful pieces of art of paintings. So I just like the burst of colors sometimes, and I just like unbelievable images that paintings can bring to my soul and feelings as well. So yeah, so this combination of image and story. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, Victor. My next question is for Victoria, and it's going to be a specific one for her because she is she has a background in computing programming after all. So Victoria, what do you think of sky art?
Probably as much experience as you, Florian. I didn't get what they are talking about.
It's basically making art with only a computer keyboard, where you would type things to be in a certain way to have images or represent things. What do you think? Have you done it yourself?
No, I don't. I think there is more common direction when art is made just in different objects, including maybe it's more ecological direction. It's devoted to, I don't know, all this garbage, plastic, and so on. And like the separate line is maybe this IT stuff. I think that this kind of art, it's mainly as well is about delivering some message to attract attention to some problem, and I don't see any, let's say, development in this direction. I don't think that it's too universal. So today it could be some parts of computers. We don't know what could be tomorrow, but like. Yes, it's mainly some kind of installation of performance. But you know that my favorite direction is different one. I prefer drawing.
Okay, excellent. We got to learn a little bit more about all of our panelists today. Excellent. I can see that our next presenter and speaker is getting ready. So I think we should start a little bit early because this session is going to be a little bit of fun.